Number 14 on your list is
Aaron Rodgers. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, you're the greatest I've ever seen. But that doesn't mean I think that right now, okay? I think Aaron Rodgers in his prime is arguably the greatest quarterback ever, right? The skills, everything he has. I know he still has skills. But my big thing with Aaron Rodgers is, what is Aaron Rodgers right now? I don't know. I don't. I know he's still got a really good arm and can spin it and he's got a quick release and all of that, right? But I mean, going back to 2 years ago in Green Bay, definitely one of the most underwhelming Aaron Rodgers seasons ever. And I know he had some injuries and all of that too, but it goes into all of it. It's the throws, the plays, right? The aggressive nature we talked about that I really, feel like he's got to pick up in that department, right? That is all bothers me. And of course, he didn't play last year, and he's a year older, and he's going to be less wanting to get hit by people or stand in the pocket. Let alone, I think my big thing is, can Aaron Rodgers play the way Aaron Rodgers thinks he can play, right? That's what I got to see. Is Aaron Rodgers at this point of his career, are we still just going to put him in the shotgun and he's going to hop around and, throw quick throws and lasers and sidearms and make people miss and set up and throw other lasers down the field? I just don't know. I kind of got to see it to believe it, right? Let alone, I think there was some reluctancy to do that the last few years anyways. I mean, I think we even saw that his last MVP season, let alone the 2022 season where they didn't make the playoffs. And I was complaining about that in the 2021 season in general anyways, right? It's the lack of aggressiveness or the lack of wanting to hang in the pocket and, maybe make a big play with your arm that can change the game. And in my opinion, taking too many of the easy way out or the conservative way out that I go, hey, that's nice. And your quarterback ranking and completion percentage would be good, but you're not going for it. You're not trying to win the game. You're kind of playing like, I just don't want to be the reason we lose. And that to me is not what an all-time or a great quarterback in this league right now does, right? So that's where I would argue it. And yeah, of course, the health and the injury and all of that all play into it. He looked good in preseason last year when he got to play a little bit. But here's another thing I'll throw into that. He'll probably look good preseason when he gets into that. Preseason's simple. All his checks and these things he does at the line of scrimmage and the fact that they're going to rep and get things. He's going to look good in the preseason if he gets to get out there again and do that. I understand that. My question is, what's it going to be like when it gets to the regular season? And, again, people are, like we saw at the start of the year last year, people are on their plays early on. And, okay, wait, you can't just, get the ball out in 1.5 seconds and get an easy completion. Oh, yeah, they're all over that stuff. So what are you going to do now? Are you going to be able to move? Are you going to make some aggressive decisions and throws and power throws that can change field position and really give your team a jump start that way? Yeah. These are all things I question. And again, I just want to raise my hand and say, I don't even feel comfortable saying those things. I really don't, because I how highly I think of Aaron Rodgers. And I would argue that in his prime, I don't think I've ever seen a better, more talented quarterback in football, but we're not there right now, and we're coming off a serious injury, and it's still a new team. We really haven't seen it all together. Yep. And I just got to see a few things myself here.
He's clearly the leader that team
clearly
needed. You just see by the video there at OTAs, right. He's right back in it. He's the one leading the charge there. And he goes, this is a quote from him. He goes, I have a lot of motivation. I love the game. I want to play at a high level. I don't want to go out as a bum.
Yeah.
So you have that motivation with Aaron Rodgers, maybe for the first time. Last year he came in, and the narrative around him is that he's, Gotham's savior as long as he stays healthy here. I think there are some more questions than that with him, but he realizes that now, and he's maybe been knocked down a peg just because now there are the doubters out there whether he can figure this out. They are protecting him, or are going to try to, more than they did perhaps last year.
There, right.
Tyron Smith, you got John Simpson, you got Morgan Moses. They drafted Olu Fashanu from Penn State. So clearly, it does seem like they are looking at him as he's not that mobile quarterback that can kind of maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But we definitely need to max protect on some of this stuff.
I would hope so. I wouldn't want to live we're just going to be an empty and Aaron Rodgers going to be in the shotgun every play and we're just going to rely on him to, make quick throws and quick decisions all the time and do all of that stuff. I wouldn't. I'm not sure how capable he's going to be in that department, and can he just carry the squad I think a Josh Allen or a Joe Burrow or Mahomes can in that situation? I'm not sure he can do that. I'm not sure. I have real questions about that. And then the other part of like what you bring up with the pass protection and all that too, right? There's got to be something to get him to throw the ball down the football field. You got to do some stuff. You got to do some stuff to encourage it and whatever. And whether that's to keep the tight end in, and with this new offensive lineman there that's totally remade, and I go, man, I mean, from a name standpoint and what it looks like on paper, that's a damn good group. It is. But like, yeah, I would love to see them infuse more play action. Again, like we talk about, get back there, feel protected, and you still have a great arm. I mean, you still have a great arm. Let Garrett Wilson work down the field. Let's find some ways, instead of always trying to find the 4-yard completion, to push the ball 25 and 30 yards down the football field. Again, I think it's one difference we saw with Green Bay last year with Jordan Love as compared to no Aaron Rodgers with Green Bay. What did we see? We talked about it a lot last year. Yeah, their offense might not be quite as complex, but what was it? We were always like, the man in Green Bay now, Jordan Love, is looking to strike. He is looking to push the ball down the field. And in a lot of ways, I felt like their offense was, at the end of the year, more dangerous and scary than what we saw from Rodgers at the end of his career in Green Bay.
Yeah, it was a good finish for LaFleur,
right.
I think, there in Green Bay, because maybe some of those things that they could not do, Aaron did not want to do, and the last couple of years,
right.
They were able to do
Definitely.
with Jordan Love, and
yes.
it was certainly more dangerous at times.
Yeah.
They have Mike Williams there now, too, so that could be a deep threat if he can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson. And they drafted mine and Aaron Rodgers' favorite wide receiver in the draft. So this is what Rodgers recently told the Jets official podcast. Corley was my favorite wide receiver in the draft. Now, he might not have been the best on paper in the draft, but I really felt like he was going to fit in with what we're trying to do, his mindset, his ferocity there, too. So he does have pretty good weapons on paper here.
He does. And Corley's a football player, right? He's a weapon. He really, along those Deebo Samuel lines that we've talked about, catch the ball over the middle, break tackles, speed sweeps, tosses. You could do all of that stuff with him, right? And you're going to feel good about it. I think he's perfect for what they got there. You got Lazard, who can do a little bit of everything, right? Garrett Wilson, who we know is got a chance to be a real star. So you base the offense around him. And then you got Mike Williams, who's not only, like you said, a deep threat, but I think also, too, where I hope Rodgers can take advantage of him, is like, hey, he's over here. It's man-to-man. Oh, he didn't beat him deep? That's all right. I can throw it on his back shoulder. I can throw it up here. He's big. He knows how to use his body, box people out, catch the ball like that, right? Rodgers used to be phenomenal at doing that stuff with Devontae Adams and Jordy Nelson back in the day. Yeah. He doesn't do it. He didn't do it as much at the end of his career in Green Bay, so we'll see. But this guy's the kind of target that might bring it out for him. But, yeah, that to me is the big question with Rodgers, is what Rodgers are we going to get? What is he capable of, right? And can he find a way, like I talk about, of not worried about touchdown interception ratio, not worried about quarterback numbers, letting it go and trying to win games and putting pressure on teams that way? I think he's let some teams off the hook. As you know, and I always talk about it, that last playoff game he played for the Green Bay Packers against the 49ers, it wasn't that he played bad that day, but for Aaron Rodgers, the MVP, no, I expect more. And as we showed during the time, and I talked about on PFT, and I gave it another look yesterday as I was just going back, there was plays there to be had. There was people open. There was 15 and 20-yard completions where the game field position could have been changed, and they could have put pressure on the 49ers. And instead, what happened? The 49ers hung around. They made a few plays, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, we were kind of controlling and I was being conservative, but if I was maybe a little more aggressive and not conservative, this wouldn't even be a point that they made a few plays at the end of the game. The game would have been over already. And that's what I just don't know about Aaron Rodgers.
He knows the pressure's there. He goes, if I don't do what I know I'm capable of doing,
that's right.
We're all probably going to be out of here.
Yeah.
So that would include him. That would include the head coach. Who knows? Maybe a front office change too. So these are wild cards.
Yeah.
So the narrative could be set rather early, or will be, impacted rather early.
Yeah, why he's a wild card, because it's like, what are we going to get? I don't know what it is. And
so,
will he do some of the things we talk about?
They could use a fast start. They could be facing a rookie or second-year quarterback in 5 of their first 8 games, apparently, here. So here are the rookie quarterbacks that the Jets will play. These are all the quarterbacks, so yeah, including the rookie is there. Drake maybe not week 3 there, but you got Will Levis, second-year guy. You got Brock Purdy week 1. So who knows? Maybe the Jets are set up here for some
I think
early season success.
Right? They have a lot of traveling and a lot of night games early on in the year, right? And a lot of people made a big deal about that when the schedule came out. Like, wow, that's kind of like, a little unfair to them, right? Because they've had the last few years, I would say their first 5 or 6 games have been like the toughest in football for like 3 years in a row. This year, it's tough because of the schedule and how it's laid out, but I would say this is the best schedule they've had as far as talent of teams in a while, to where I look at it and go, wait, hold on a second here. There is no doubt in my mind, okay, if we take, let's just say the first 5 weeks of the year, the 49ers, the Titans, the Patriots, the Broncos, and the Vikings, I have no problem right off the bat saying the Jets are more talented than 4 of those 5 teams. No doubt about it. They have more talent than the Titans, Patriots, Broncos, and Vikings. Right? The 49ers, we know, are arguably the most talented team in football, are certainly up there. So I'm not going to give them over that, right? But after that, you look at that and go, wait, that's real deal. And then, of course, I think they're even more talented than the Buffalo Bills. Now, it's Buffalo, and it's not that much more talented. And, of course, we know they got the quarterback that, we're not going to be talking about today. I mean, it's going to be later on in the podcast series here. So that's a wild card game. But, they have a chance here if they can handle the theatrics of the schedule, to where I look at it for the first time and go, hey, the Jets could be 4-1 after the first 5 weeks of the year. But a lot of that, again, is protection of Rodgers. What is Rodgers as a player still? What does he think he's capable of? And is there an adjustment period of, playing this new style of football? Yo, what's up? Thanks for watching, homies. You know it's the off-season, but there's no off-season with Chris Simms Unbuttoned. It's the NFL. It goes all year around, all right? So hit subscribe, please, to hear my thoughts on your favorite team, your favorite quarterback, and, hey, how this season might unfold as we get ready for the 2024 season. We got a better picture, clearer look now that the draft is over, free agency. We know who's playing quarterback for certain teams. So, again, thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe. Peace out, homies. Check you out soon.